On this episode of the Infowars News Blitz, media agrees to stop reporting on suspected Ebola cases in the U.S. West Virginia elects an 18-year-old state lawmaker, and election reveals decline in race politics. That and a lot more, so stay tuned. Okay, first, it's first article of the day here, and I think Al just covers this article on his show, but I'm going to read this for you anyway. The article was written by Paul W. Watson, and it is entitled, Obama caught ordering press to cover up Ebola. Underneath it says, Pharmaceutical reveals how press has bowed to government to keep Americans in the dark. The article says here, goes on to say that after revealing that an unofficial abruptly called a press conference to a close when Bose was asked a difficult question about the suspected Ebola victim, Carol then dropped a bombshell. The Associated Press and other outlets have agreed not to report on suspected Ebola cases of Ebola in the United States until a positive viral NRA test is complete, he writes. Carroll then felt the need to justify why he was talking about the suspected Ebola case at Duke Hospital, which subsequently turned out to be negative, explained that he was covering tonight's announcement of a potential Ebola case because it has been reported in my area and Duke University Medical Center, an institution where I hold an unpaid associated professor appointment in their Department of Medicine. Well, the article goes on to say that with the flu fast approaching, experts have warned that the reporting of Ebola-like symptoms, which are in fact, influenza, could overwhelm health authorities. Well, duh. I mean, basically, the entire place. I mean, one of the doctors from Missouri or Kansas or one of the states came out and said that the government is actually whisking away people. And to be honest with you, that should be mentioned there as well. I'm not to pick it up as well. But basically, this is what's going on here. Whatever's going on here with the borders or Ebola, I mean, basically, and I'm going to really stress this point now, according to one of the articles that Al Jones read, Ebola can spread through the cold. So basically, in other words, it's cold resistant, and it can stay airborne for days and days and days, and when everybody starts coming into these hospitals, they're going to say, I've got Ebola, when the fact is that they don't even know. On November the 4th, there was a realignment on the, in the House and the Senate. Republicans took the House, and they also took the Senate, and new fresh blood has now will soon be in the Congress. However, there is one person that's gonna be all their age. An 18-year-old. That's right. That's right. There's an article here from the Wall Street Journal entitled West Virginia Elects Youngest Lawmaker. Like I said, she's an 18-year-old or 17-year-old, but depends on who you ask. The article says here that a West Virginia University freshman who did most of her campaigning out of her dorm room has become the youngest state lawmaker in the nation Tuesday. Republican Sarah Blair, a fiscal conservative 18-year-old will represent a small district in West Virginia's East Panhandle, about 1/2 hours outside of Washington, D.C., after defeating her Democratic opponent 63% to 30%. According to the Associated Press, a third-party candidate got 7% of the vote. In a statement, Ms. Blair thanked her supporters and her family as well as her opponents for running a positive campaign. Her history has been made tonight in West Virginia, and while I am proud that we have accomplished together, it is the future of the state that is now my singular focus, she says. Seriously? An 18-year-old. 18. And she hasn't even graduated from high school yet. I mean, she's still in high school, but my gosh, if that happens, what's next? Next, 5-year-old running for office now? I mean, this is a newsmaker, a very good newsmaker, and I'm surprised that someone this young has actually made it into the office. Okay, folks, this is the last article today here, and it's an article written by Kid Daniels. The article is titled, "Elections Reveal Decline of Racial Politics." Underneath that title, it says, "In a single night, voters disown race-baiting politics promoted by Democratic for decades." In a single election night, Americans overwhelmingly rejected race-baited politics and extreme identity politics in general, which has been a staple of the Democratic Party for decades. The GOP victories in the November 4th midterm elections were not simply due to the independent voters who were dissatisfied with the Democratic Party, but they were rather the result of an explosive ideological realignment which promotes individualism and transcends beyond the party's political divisions. I mean, basically, the Democratic Party is like the Ku Klux, is like the party of the Ku Klux Klan, as Alex Jones said. For years, the Democratic Party has strident divisions by race, class, gender, and sexual orientation. But now, more voters are realizing that this is us versus them mentality, which pits American against American, has only attributed to the decline of the United States. When people are divided into groups, they are easier to control, and that's why authoritarians promote individualism politics, which degrades individuals into mere controls of various groups and factions. Government can only grow at the expense of individual liberties, and the collectivism results from extreme identity politics ensures the expansion of government without limit. I mean, basically, that's what the Democratic Party was supposed to do. They did it when they did it all the way back in the Civil Rights Movement, right? And basically, they're still doing it now. I mean, people are sick of it now, and they're sick of both parties. And if the Republicans don't deliver, they're on their way out as well, until they get results. And to be honest with you, I think that people are now starting to realize that basically what the Democratic Party is basically a bunch of race-baiting liars, and the facade's gonna fall. Well, that's all the articles I have here today. If you want to read more about the articles, please go to the links below or go to Infowars.com. There you find hundreds of articles just like this one. This is Infowars. I'm Info Got 'em, signing off. Bye bye.